how many of your current relationships are actually adding value to your life? Or how many of them are actually quietly draining you of the value that you have, of the energy that you have? Think about it. It's a heavy question, but it's one that you need to ask yourself. Welcome back to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I'm Sant, and as always, I'm here to help guide you on your journey of transformation, getting you from stuck to unstoppable, from surviving to thriving, to help you go from just living a life where you wake up and go through the motions to one where you wake up excited, enthusiastic, and energized every single day. So if you get something from this episode, please drop me a comment, let me know, and share it with someone who you think could hear this. So you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So are you spending your time with with the right people? Are you surrounding yourself with people who will bring you energy, will give you success, will actually help you shift your mindset? If these people are actually going to be defining your life, then doesn't it make sense that you evaluate who's in your inner circle? Who are the 5 people you're spending your most time with? Your bad friendships and your bad relationships are actually stopping you from becoming the person you can be, from helping you live up to your full potential. And it's a topic that many people shy away from, or many people just ignore, but it's actually absolutely essential for you to live your best life. So if you're tired of actually just thinking to yourself, are these the right people for me? Then this is the episode for you. This could change your perspective and your life and the people that you hold closest to you. So let's start with one of the biggest things that you have with your friends, why you feel obligated to remain friends. Because we've all experienced it. You just stay friends with someone simply because you've known them forever. It could be 10, 15, 20, 50 years. Yeah. Maybe it's a childhood friend who you grew up with, or the college friend who you've known for years, someone you roomed with at university. But just because you've got the longevity of the relationship, is that a good enough reason to keep someone in your life, even if they're no longer good for you? The truth is, you can confuse loyalty with obligation. You think, we've been friends for 10 years, so I have to keep this friendship alive. But the truth is, and the actual harsh reality is, time doesn't equal value. And you struggle because you're feeling obligated to remain friends just because of history. You struggle with it because you feel guilt, because you feel guilty for walking away, worrying if it makes you a bad person. And then you're also worried about actually the fear of conflict, because letting go of any friendship can be uncomfortable and you want to avoid that tough conversation. How many people have actually just fallen out of your life because you no longer make the effort? How many times have you been the one to always check in on your friend? You've always been the one to make the first move, to organize the catch-ups, to organize the dinners, the dinners, the nights out, whatever, just the weekends away. How many times have you always been that person? And then when you don't do it, when you don't make the effort, people stop making the effort back. And finally, nostalgia. You hold on to your friendship because it reminds you of the good old days. Even if the friendship doesn't serve who you are now, you still don't want to lose out on those good old days. But the studies show that actually as you age, you prioritize the quality of your relationships over the quantity. It's like having Facebook friends. Some of them you actually keep in touch with and you make conscious effort to stay in touch with. Some of them, they're just there. You met them once or twice and that's it. So nearly half of adults have dropped a significant number of friends by their mid-30s. And I can attest to this. I stopped making effort with people who didn't make effort with me. And it felt weird at first because, they're like, what was I doing? But then you also got to think, actually, are the people I have lost friendships with, or like the relationships have fizzled out, you think, actually, as I always say, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or your lifetime. Maybe they were only meant to be in my life for a season. But when you're clinging to friendships out of obligation, you're not being true to yourself. You're holding space for relationships that actually no longer align with who you've become, with your values, with your future. And that's actually a disservice, not just to you, but to them as well. So you need to let go of that relationship. You need to actually think to yourself, you know what? It's not that bad if I let go. It's not that bad if I don't actually feel obliged to keep in contact. And when you actually do that, when you actually realize that letting go of a friendship, it isn't about being cruel. It isn't about being selfish. It's actually about making space for what truly serves you. Yeah, what serves your growth, what serves your happiness. And it's a good thing on both parts, because even they may be thinking the same thing but may not have the strength to actually cut the ties. So when you let go of a toxic or draining friendship, three big things happen. You free up mental and emotional space, because bad friendships, they drain your energy. Ones where you're pushing yourself, you're forcing yourself to spend time with people. When you let go, you notice almost an immediate sense of relief. That space can now be filled with something more positive, something more creative, and actually more peaceful. The next thing is you set boundaries, because actually letting go teaches you the value of boundaries. It shows you that you have time, and you have limited time and energy, and that is precious. So you actually have the right to protect it. The next thing is you actually attract better connections, because when you're releasing relationships that no longer serve you, you're actually opening the door for new ones, for new meaningful friendships, more new meaningful relationships to come in your life. You can't park two cars in a one car garage. So think of it like just clearing out your garage is filled with a car that you no longer use, that you know that you haven't actually turned on in ages. There's no room for a new car in that garage until you get rid of the old one. And friendships and relationships are the same. When people come into your life, and as I said, they're in there for a season, a reason, or for a lifetime. So every person that comes into your life is actually in there for a reason. Some people are there to teach you lessons. Others are there to walk the journey with you. Yeah, some are just there just to be there for a little bit of the way, just to make it a bit more exciting. Yeah, but they're not lifelong companions. Yeah, but the mistake you're making is you're trying to hold on to those who are meant to be temporary teachers, and you're trying to make them be lifelong companions. You're trying to make them stay in your life for longer than they need to be. And actually, by doing that, you're actually causing yourself harm. You may think that, yeah, no, it's good that I'm still staying in contact. But actually, by keeping hold of these old people, you stay stuck in the past, because you're always looking back. Oh, yeah, remember the good old days. But if you're sitting with someone and you've been friends with them 10, 15, 20 years, however many, and you're there and you're both sitting there together, you're both pushing each other, challenging each other, still causing each other to grow, you're still learning from them. You've got value in that relationship. It's when you meet up with people and you're thinking, I got nothing left in this. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. And then by holding on, you're actually blocking new opportunities. By clinging to your old relationships, you limit your ability to meet new people. You limit your ability to meet people who align with your current values and your goals. And your social circles, they naturally evolve every 7 years. So it's not just normal, but it's actually necessary to let go and just embrace new relationships as you grow as a person. It's all right if you no longer go out with the drinking buddies that you used to constantly meet. It's all right, because that's not what your life is anymore. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, Sanjay, this sounds great, but how do I actually let go of a friendship? Yeah. Here are 5 ways in which you can do it. Number 1, evaluate the friendship honestly. Yeah. Does a person add value to your life? Ask yourself. Do you feel supported, or do you feel drained, or do you feel energized after spending time with them? And be brutally honest with your answers. Because if the person's not adding value and you feel drained every single time you spend time with them, maybe you need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to just cut ties. The next thing is accept and be okay with the fact that you're outgrowing people. Remember, outgrowing a friendship doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that the other person is. It just means that you're on a different path now, and that's all right. Allow yourself that space. Allow yourself to say no to them so you can say yes to yourself, so you can say yes to new relationships. The next thing is with communicate with kindness, because sometimes you may have been in a friendship and it warrants a conversation. Maybe it's something you need to actually address. Maybe it's just there's just a little bit of a rough patch in it. Approach it with just kindness and honesty. Focus on how you're feeling rather than blaming the other person. Yeah, whether it's just like, yeah, I value the time we spend together, but at the moment I don't think it's helping me and I need to focus on where I'm heading. Again, when you make it about yourself, it's very difficult for the other person to argue. The 4th thing, focus on building new connections, because once you've let go, don't just sit there with that emptiness just in you. Actively seek out relationships that align with your current values, with your goals. Join a hobby group, maybe networking. Just reconnect with people who inspire you and you know are on the same path as you. And the final thing is be grateful for the experience you had. Every relationship teaches you something. So instead of dwelling on that is no longer there, focus on the lessons and the growth that you actually gained from it. So think about that. Think, what kind of relationships do you want to look back on 10 years from now? Are you holding on to relationships and friendships out of habit, or are you making rooms for one that really matter in your life? It's your life and your energy. Make sure that you're choosing wisely. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, your relationships are the foundation of your happiness. Choose them intentionally. So until next time, keep thriving and keep mastering your mindset, because when you master your mindset, you'll master your life. Thank you.